To welcome you back to Black Science Tonight. We're going to talk about Harvard pledging $100 million to research to atone for their role in slavery. First, I'd like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Harvard University wants to atone by giving us $100 million in research, but they didn't say they were going to cut that check and give us cash payments. First, let's listen to this quick article. ABC News. Boston. Harvard University is bound to spend $100 million to study and atone for its extensive ties with slavery, the school's president announced Tuesday, with plans to identify and support the descendants of enslaved people who labor at the Ivy League campus. President Lawrence Bacow announced the funding as Harvard released a new report detailing the many ways the college benefited from slavery and perpetuated racial inequality. But the report stops, I want you to listen to this, short of recommending direct financial reparations, and officials have no immediate plans for that kind of support. Harvard, the nation's oldest and wealthiest college, is the latest among a growing number of U.S. schools attempting to confront their involvement with slavery, also make amends for it. The report commissioned by Bacow found that Harvard's faculty, staff, leaders enslaved more than 70 Black and Native American people from the school's founding in 1636 to 1783, and cautions that figure is almost certainly undercounted. Using historical records, researchers were able to identify dozens of enslaved people by the name along with their connection to the university. Most were identified only by a single name, such as Caesar, Diana, and Venus. Enslaved men and women served Harvard's president and professors and fed and cared for Harvard students, researchers found. Moreover, throughout this period, and well into the 19th century, the university and its donors benefited from extensive financial ties to slavery. So basically, they're talking about investments into slavery. The report says the university should make a significant monetary commitment, and it should invest in remedies of equal or greater breadth than other universities. Bacow said Harvard will attempt to redress its wrongs through teaching, research, and services. He is creating a committee to implement the report's suggestions. Building on earlier research at Harvard, the report details how the university depended on slave trade in its early years and profited from it. Not just serving people at the college. They made financial investments for hundreds of years. And now they talking about implementing a damn program. Harvard invested directly in sugar and rum trades in the Caribbean, along with U.S. cotton and rail. They were instrumental in the South in making millions of dollars off of it. The college early growth and credit is supported with the wealth donors who accumulate their fortunes through the slave trade and industry. Along with the 70 people who enslaved, the report also their list of enslavers included several Harvard presidents and high-ranking officials, and the campus buildings, rooms, and professorships that are still named after them. Even after slavery was abolished, the report says prominent scholars continue to promote concepts that fuel racist ideas. In his message, Bacow called the findings disturbing and shocking, and he acknowledged that the school perpetuated practices that were profoundly immoral. Consequently, I believe we bear more responsibility to do what we can to address the persistent corrosive effects of this historical practice on the individuals of Harvard and of our society, he wrote. The 130-page report included a series of recommendations that endorsed the $100 million will be used to carry out work, with some funding that will be made available now to be held in the endowment. The university itself has an endowment more than $50 billion. The nation largest, I just looked at it, it's $53 billion. The report says Harvard should identify the descendants of enslaved people, engage them through dialogue, programming, information share, relationship building, and educational support. That's enough of that, man. That's enough of that. I don't want to hear nothing about educational support. I don't want to hear nothing about a damn committee. What I want to hear about is how you gonna pay the descendants of African slaves the money they rightfully deserve. They want to atone by having a damn conversation. Nobody wants to have a damn conversation. What they want to have is that you pay them what they rightfully deserve. See, it's easy for these white folks to come on here and tell you that maybe we'll give you a scholarship or two that won't go to ADOS, FBA. They'll go to some tether, some African somewhere. But Harvard right now, with a $53 billion endowment, should be cutting a check. They got the money. And it wouldn't even bother them if they cut a check. But to cut a check means that everybody else would. See, they want to give you everything but a check. They'll give you an apology. They'll pat you on the head. They'll give you a snack. They'll tell you how bad it was. But they still will never give you what you rightfully deserve. This is symbolism. This is not a tangible. We got Native Americans who just received about $50 billion under Joe Biden. And nothing have they given to black people, ADOS and FBA. It comes a time when we gotta quit taking this shit. And I'm tired, and we got people over in the CBC talking about, well, if they just give us an apology for getting your ass whooped, working 18 hours a day, having babies thrown in lakes to feed gators, having your wife taken advantage of, your daughter taken advantage of, your son, you have to pay somebody what they're rightfully worth. And Harvard is not doing it. Harvard owes that money. This is disgraceful. And not only Harvard, Yale owes this money. All these institutions that took money, became billion-dollar institutions off of slavery, owes reparations. Not only the United States government. This is terrible. And somebody needs to be punished, and the punishment needs to be, we need to be compensated financially. Everybody, because the plan has already been set out. We're not going to give them no money. We'll give them some scholarships. We'll say we sorry and everything is cool. But they didn't do that with the Japanese. They didn't do that with the Jews. They didn't do that with the Native Americans. They got land, the reservation, they got casinos, and Joe Biden is giving them money like it's water. But what we got? A damn apology, and if you happen to go to school, you get a damn scholarship. But that is not financial security. That is not money that you can build wealth with. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button. Share this video.